Alrighty then. Okay. Cool. We are now live. Okay. All right. Well, welcome players. Welcome everybody. Couple of minutes late, but we have a couple of players that are either going to be late or are not able to make it tonight. And so we are going to go ahead and take stock of our situation and see what our players who are here would like to do. This is session 23 of our assault on the Lost Mine of original D&D. Playthrough of the Lost Mine of Phandelver using the original rules back from the 1970s. I am DM Gallibond. I am joined on the Discord and in the Roll20 by Travis as Theolis, by Jason as Conrad, by Heather as Zhire, and last time we saw these folks, they were in Wave Echo Cave. They were closing in on Nezznar the Black Spider from two different directions. Nezznar is, of course, the big bad guy in this particular adventure, and he is holed up in what looks like an old chapel or temple of some kind with 4 giant spider allies. And the players have a bunch of goblinoid allies and a couple of human allies that are assisting them, and a wolf. And there is also one enemy shapeshifter, a doppelganger, that is on the board. So, where we left it last time, I think Theolis had just opened the door and looked and seen the situation in the temple. Clark, Ripper, and a group of others were chasing the doppelganger. We had just finished a round of combat, and it looks like the party had finished off that round of combat, so looks like we're ready to probably do another initiative roll when we get ready to resume. Question is, you guys want to press on and see if we can finish this tonight?
I don't mind.
Yeah, the black spiders caused enough trouble for more than enough time.
Okay, all right. Okay, well then we will go ahead and looks like Zhire had the honors last time to roll initiative. So let's go ahead, Conrad, let's go ahead and give you a chance to roll initiative for... Okay, that's going to be a 4. All right, and then the doppelganger is going to roll, and oh my goodness, he gets a 10.
Wow.
Drat.
Now wait just a cut big in it here. Let me just make sure something. Does he really have his Oh, yes, that's because he gets a bonus on top of that. Yep. Okay, so he does. All right. So the enemies will go first. And let's see. All right. The the first thing that he will do is he will say, "My pretties, get them," and he will command his spiders, and then I need to figure out this spell, what the range is in this edition, because it changes. Okay, so oh yeah, okay. So he has to move before he can do that. So let me bring up our handout here. Handy dandy handout. Order of combat. So he is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35. Because he gets 40 feet of movement. And then he will... Yes, that's perfect. That's where he wants to be. Our doppelganger, he will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, because he has to go around Ripper, so he can't go very far. Then these spiders, they will move into place. 5, 10, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. They will move up to here. And then I guess he'll go on. How far can he go? He can move. He can move 40. So he'll just go right out here. So Theolis, you have a big spider in your face. Ranged
Eight-legged hug.
Yeah. Ranged weapon. They don't have any ranged weapons they are going to use. But Nezznar, the black spider here, he does have a spell he would like to use. And he is going to cast a spell that will have its area of effect right where right where his spider ally is at the moment, which is just fine with him and just fine with the spider. Because what he is doing is he is going to fill this 10 by 10 foot area here with sticky, ropey spider webs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which the spider just completely ignores. It's just like normal terrain to the spider. He can crawl all over it all day and not have any problem. But in this edition, for anybody else, the spider web creates a mass of sticky strands which are difficult to destroy except with fire. Blocks the area affected. A human of average strength will take 20 to 80 minutes to break through the web. Flames will destroy the web in 2 rounds, but all creatures within the web will be burned. And anyone wearing gauntlets of ogre power can break free of a web in 4 rounds. So in this edition, webs are much more punitive than they are in later editions. Theolis, you are not in the area of the web, you are adjacent to it. So you're not affected by it unless you decide to push into it without doing something to get rid of it. And then, last but not least, we have our attack here, and the spider in front of you is going to try to bite you. And so he bites and hits an armor class 12, which is probably not good enough to hit. Dare say it's going to be it's going to miss Theolis mightily. But that is it. And yeah, because the doppelganger ran, he doesn't even get a chance to try to attack Ripper. So we'll go ahead, and the party is now up. So you guys can go ahead and start your movement if you haven't already.
If I just run flat out, how far can I go?
Let's see. What armor are you in?
I have switched to, let me double check. I think it was chainmail.
Okay. Then you would normally have 30 feet. So in this edition, if you do nothing but move, you triple your movement. So it's 90 feet.
Okay. Guys, I was thinking about going around the other way since that web's there. Hopefully sneak in the back way. Or do you want me up front there with you guys?
Your plan sounds better.
Okay.
Okay.
That's 5, 15, 20.
That creek is small enough you can jump over it. You don't even have to make a check for it, so it's not going to slow you down at all.
So this thing has webbed over the entrance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So now,
Actually, I'm gonna sit back here for a sec.
you guys, at least Theolis, I'm going to say Theolis would know this because he's adventured with Amy enough. He knows what happens with webs and everything. The spider is not hindered at all by the web. However, the spider is in the middle of the web. So if somebody sets the web on fire, it will burn the spider because the spider is in it. But if you guys just try to hack away at the spider, even if you injure the spider and it retreats, then you really don't have a way of getting to it because it can just scuttle through the web like nobody's business, and you guys would just, as soon as you touch it, you're going to get stuck and then have to try to break out of it.
Okay.
Now, I can try to use my lantern to.
Actually, I've
throw
got
it at the spider.
I've got a better plan. So I'm like, give me a sec. I gotta get out my kit. I start pulling stuff out of my backpack.
Okay. All right.
So
and
go ahead.
No. All right. So you see, we have a lot of people moving up here on the up with Conrad. Then Sildar. Do we want Sildar right up next to the door there, side by side with Theolis, or is he gonna?
He's gonna hang back just a little bit so that it leaves range ability for this guy and this guy.
Okay. So let Relish and Dill get range attacks in. Okay. Zahir, are you in the spot you want to be, or do you want to be on the other side of the corridor, or what do you want to do?
Basically,
because this is a hard corner. So if you're trying to get line of sight to the thing,
I've got to first get my stuff out and and then I'll move forward. So
okay, all right.
Well, actually, I take that back. Let me see here. Is that's in direct line of sight, right? Where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just kind of jump forward a little bit, but I'm still.
Yeah, because you can see that square from there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And this is a 10 by 10 foot cube, so there's web up above Theolis's head. So you can, if you've got something you want to do at range, you can fire it there. And this is a big spider, so if you're trying to aim at the spider itself, you can do that too.
So I'll basically, I was going to grab out my flask of oil and like douse some material that I've torn off of something, probably one of my pant legs or something like that, and then I douse that in the oil and I toss the canister to Theolis and go, have fun.
Okay, all right.
Give me a moment. And
Muzzle off.
Muzzle off. Just start anointing the spider web.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna stop. Okay, there we go.
Okay, well that'll work too, because we'll say that you can toss that on the ranged weapon turn, and then if Theolis wants to use the flaming oil, he can light it and use it on the melee turn.
Okay.
So
there we go.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I was basically just gonna have him like try and get the webs as doused with lamp oil as possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's got basically that thing, he can just touch that cloth with oil and toss it onto the web and set the webs on fire that way.
Gotcha.
If he wants to. All right. So everybody move where they want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So ranged weapons. Let's go ahead. Like I said, you guys are 10 feet apart. I'm not going to make you roll on getting that oil-soaked rag between each other. But let's go ahead and roll attacks for the goblins that are going to attack.
Rolling for who?
Relish and Deal and Sogdig.
Yeah, Relish, Dill, and Sogdig. So, alright, so one of you guys. Okay, there you go. All right. Ooh, that's two. That's two hits. Okay, so we'll say Relish hits for 1 point. And then Dill gets a great shot and gets 6 points, and that is going to be enough to actually bloody the spider with that shot. And then Sogdag, he misses. All right, now I don't think there's any other goblins around, and Sildar doesn't have a ranged weapon. Mustard doesn't have a line of sight there. So next up is the spells. Conrad, were you planning on casting any spells?
No, I just ran that turn, so I won't be doing anything else.
Okay. All right. And then then we can have melee. So, Theolis, what are you going to do for your melee? And then I guess Conrad, since you're over there, you can have the bugbears be hacking on Ripper hacking on the doppelganger.
I'd like to take the muzzle tops that Zhire made me, light it off my lantern, and try to smash it against the spider or the web.
Okay, if you're trying to hit the spider, I'll ask you to make an attack roll. If you're just trying to catch the web on fire, I won't make you make an attack roll. Because basically, the entire area in front of you is filled with web. So that'll be up to you.
Yeah, we'll go for just the web.
Okay. So now we have a burning thing, and what we decided with the I think we decided with the flaming oil is that it's what 1d6 per 1d6 per round.
Or 1d8.
Yeah, let me just double check.
I had 1d8 for holy water if it's the same thing. 1d8 versus undead.
Oil burning is 1d8, and it lasts for 2 rounds. Okay, so Theolis, go ahead and roll a 1d8. It's /r space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Theolis, how does this spider die?
Oh,
it's just a screaming pile of flailing limbs It's just emulsified in flames. You can't even see spider.
Okay, and there is kind of a wall of fire as the web is going up in flame, and you can hear behind him. You can hear the elf say, "Cricket, no! I shall avenge you."
This thing's name is Cricket. Okay. Apparently he doesn't know what spider is. Weirdo.
All right, and let go ahead with the wolf and the bugbears. They can go ahead and attack.
Go with Ripper first. Whoops, wrong button. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. AC 10. That's not quite gonna hit. So then we got. It looks like 3 bugbears in position.
Yep. I'm just waiting for the sheet to load here.
Okay.
If somebody else has got it up, you can roll. I'm not sure why my stuff's running slow tonight.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make those attacks.
Thank you.
All right. And so AC 5, AC 10, and AC 12. AC 5 is exactly what they need. So that deals 7 damage. And the doppelganger is now bloodied. And I believe actually there was... Well, no, you guys are... Never mind. I am going to go ahead and say that we are done with that round. Thank you, Conrad. Okay, and Theolis. You can go ahead and roll for initiative for the group this time. And I will roll for the... okay. Well, this time he only got a 6, but it beat the 4 for the party. All right. So they get to go first, and the doppelganger will run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He skids to a stop, and he sees the spider flaming in the doorway, and he says, "Nezznar, they're coming this way." And the elf, and then he turns to one of his spiders. He says, "Go feast, my friend." So this spider will scuttle 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And Conrad, this big, huge spider, just sort of crawls across the wall, like right towards you. And then this spider will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and get... No, he can't get in, so he'll just stop right there. And then this spider will... or this guy will do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, Actually, no, he'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He'll go there, and then this spider will just go right there. And they are in position for their movement. Ranged weapons. Let's see. Let me just double check and see how that works on a. All right. Yeah. Okay. That. Kessie here in the hallway is just going to sort of aim its little spinneret and is going to fill the area right in front of it with some webs. So it just goes brrr. And so now Conrad, you and Ripper are in thick, sticky webs. The spider is adjacent to you, so you will have a chance to attack it, but you are effectively stuck there until either the webs dissolve, which, like I said, it will take quite a bit of time in this edition. So let me go 2d4. Okay, so it's going to take about an hour, 60 minutes for the webs to dissolve on their own before you can get out of there. And then, of course, if somebody lights the webs on fire, anybody stuck in the web will take fire damage. So that's not a great solution. There are some other ways of getting out of it, but we'll see if you guys can come up with anything. That's really okay. That's the only ranged attack that they're going to do. Nezznar over here, he is going to hold up his staff, and unfortunately nobody can see exactly what he's doing with it, but he holds up his staff and he speaks a word, and that is his thing. And then melee, the spider is going to try to bite Conrad. So the spider will hit AC 9. I think that is not good enough to hit Conrad. So that is their turn. And you guys now are up.
No, we can't do anything for another round. It takes 2 rounds for the spider webs to burn away.
But can I shoot something through it?
It's shooting through a big mass of burning flame, and there's also kind of a large carcass of the spider in the way. So, not very much visibility there at the moment. I would let you shoot through it, but I would give you a penalty. Say like a -4 penalty to try to hit that spider that's in the room beyond the thing. If you get into a position where you can shoot there.
Okay.
And that would go for the goblins as well. They'd have a -4 to shoot. Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Zhire, Theolis, either of you or any of the NPCs with you moving? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Then we can say, Conrad, is there any... oh, well, no. I guess let's go ahead and do ranged attacks. So... just make the attack roll and we'll say it hits something on armor class 4 lower than whatever the result is.
I can do the 3 goblins by me.
Okay. Okay, 11 and 17. Ooh. -2. Okay. -2. That will actually hit an armor class of 2, which is good enough to hit the spider. So Kesey next to you, Conrad, goes as an arrow sticks out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then for the goblins by the front door that are trying to shoot through the flames.
Zhire, you want to play that one?
I'm sorry, I did not understand the statement.
Okay. Okay. You've got your bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can go ahead and shoot. And I think Travis was asking if you have the goblin thing up. Did you want to shoot for them as well?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't open up anybody's yet. Okay. So I'll go ahead and shoot. Doot. If I try to shoot this, is this short range?
Oh yeah. 50 feet is short range, so you're well within.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's armor class 4. And that's gonna hit. So
and I
also, damage.
Since I didn't light my arrow to begin with, can it get lit on fire? Can it catch fire as it goes through the fire?
I don't think so. It's moving too fast. It's moving too fast.
Good effort.
Yeah.
Like the strategy. Now, since it's... Oh, that was range. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So, any other ranged attacks, or are we good for...
I don't know.
Okay. Anybody want to do spells? Conrad, were you going to do a spell, or were you going to do a melee attack?
I don't know. I don't have a spell to do right now.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and everybody can make melee attacks. Well, I guess Conrad really is the only person who can make a melee attack because there's just a burning mass of spider in front of you.
My question, can this bugbear right by Ripper help grab him and pull him out of the web?
I will let both the wolf and the bugbear make a strength check together.
Okay.
And if they both succeed, then we'll see if they get... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's a critical success for Ripper. Then go ahead with a bugbear and see.
All right.
Okay. They both succeed. All right. So, they are actually jostling him a little bit loose. So, what I am going to do is I am going to put a 4 there. So, now, yeah, they can get Ripper out. If they succeed again, they can get Ripper out in 4 rounds.
Okay.
Because basically, if you're a humanoid with the strength of an ogre, and I'm just going to say a bugbear and a wolf working together can match that, then you can get out of the webs in 4 rounds.
Okay.
Otherwise, you don't have that chance. So now you can go ahead and attack Conrad. AC 6, that's exactly what you need to hit. For 3 points of damage. All right, so you bonk a spider on its little mouth parts, and it does not appear to like that very much. All right, and then here at the front door, the spider burns away, and actually, the spider just kind of shrivels up, and the web burns away. So now there is nothing blocking that door, Theolis, at the end of this round. Okay. All right. So then let's go ahead and I guess Zhire, I'll let you go ahead and you can roll the initiative this time for the party.
Okay.
And we'll see what the
big money, no win.
Hey.
Oh,
I got
whoops.
excited there until I saw who it was.
Yeah, sorry. I had the wrong token selected.
Sorry, I didn't select my token, but I got a 4.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, then the doppelganger says, my lord, they're held in the hallway, but they're coming. And then the spider looks at him and says, then you fool, go stop them. And so he says, all right. And this spider is going to scuttle into the breach. And this spider will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 come over here. And this spider will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Actually, 30 will go over here. And then both of these spiders will use their web again. And one spider's web will go there. Oops. One spider's web will go there. And then this spider will put a web here. Whoops. All right. Okay, so there's this square and this square now have webs on them, and these spiders are here in this area. This one spider is just going to be there ready to bite. Doppelganger doesn't have any kind of thing. Let's see. Do you know who has line of sight to this guy? Oh, well. Yeah, Theolis, you can kind of see a corner of his square. You see this elf. Now he he reaches a hand up, and then he reaches his other hand up, and he reaches his foot up, and he just starts scuttling up the wall like a spider.
It's not right.
What?
And
that's not right.
And he climbs up about 20 feet and kind of tries to get himself higher up on the wall, sort of in a position where it's hard to see him because of this pillar here, where you don't have line of sight to him from where you are. And so he's doing that. And you can see in one hand he has this black staff with him that he's carrying. Actually, I guess he would put the staff across his back so his hands would be free, and he's climbing up. But he's got like almost like a little holster or something for the staff. Yeah.
Spider up.
Yeah, kind of like. So now maybe that's one reason, or maybe that's one clue as to why they call him the Black Spider. So that's the spells portion and the movement portion, and then he did the spell last round, so he climbed with the spell this round. Then this spider right in front of you is going to make an attack. And let's see. Who is he going to bite? He's got a tasty goblin and a tasty human in front of him. All right, so this is going to be... I'm going to make a roll here. A 1 to 3 is the goblin. 4 to 6 is Theolis. Okay, so he goes to bite the goblin. And... oh, fudge. I hit the wrong button. Ooh, -4. Okay. He bites deeply into this goblin. And Theolis, you see the fangs go in, and you see kind of them pumping a bit, and then as the fangs come out, you see sort of this dark black liquid oozing from the fangs and oozing out of the wound. And the goblin just sort of looks at you with a terrified look in his eyes. Oh, I've been poisoned! And he is also very bloodied. This goblin is. So now we have a clock ticking on this goblin. If he doesn't get something to remove the poison in time, he will die. All right, and then I believe it's your guys' turn. They're effectively here in this way where they can only get one person attacking at a time. So, party, you may go ahead. You guys at the southern door. There's no web in the way anymore, but there is a big spider, and you can't go through his space.
Okay.
You could shoot him, or you could hack at him, or whatever.
I kind of holler at Theolis. Do you got any more oil?
Don't need oil. I'm gonna see what I can do with the axe on the spider. It's a melee.
Well, I wasn't gonna shoot the spider. I was gonna shoot the webs.
Oh, the webs are behind the spider.
Right, but I'm gonna try and get around him.
You got to get the spider out of the way to get around him.
So I can't make a strength check to get out of the web?
No, not without help.
Okay.
You could. Now you're a cleric, which is bad because clerics aren't allowed to have edged weapons.
Right.
So you probably don't even have a dagger that you could try to cut some of the strands with.
No, and the bugbears have morning stars, so that's not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you have any spells that you think might help you.
No, not prepared.
Okay, all right. So then, if that's the case, then might think in terms of what would the bugbears and the goblins do, because effectively this hallway now is blocked.
Right.
So would they start flowing back around the other way to see if they could get to the other door?
Yeah, they probably do that. Maybe not all of them here.
Okay.
I don't think they go as fast. I think those try and help Ripper get out and
Okay.
stay there.
All right. Okay, so now anybody that wants to make ranged attacks can do so.
All right. I will try to shoot the spider.
Okay. And it's so big you can easily shoot over the head of your companions, but nope, that's not going to do it.
Nope.
Okay. Is Dill going to try to take a pot shot at the spider? Looks like he has line of sight. Did you guys want Dill to shoot?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Okay, Dill. Where's your arrows?
It's under ranged attack. Oh, there he goes. Okay, and that is what he needs to hit. It's an AC 6 for 2 more points of damage. Spider is not quite bloodied, but is getting hurt there. All right. So, Theolis, do you have any spells prepared today that you'd like to use?
Theolis doesn't use spell.
Okay. Just the bonk on the head spell with the axe.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then it looks like Sildar and Theolis are up. You can go ahead and attack. Ooh, Theolis, 9 points of damage.
Damn, dude.
Hey. Hey, Theolis, how would you like to kill this spider?
Oh, I turn the axe broadside and just smash it on the head, splat it.
Okay. This spider went from not bloody to dead in one mighty blow of the axe. And it gives out a screech. And then you hear from the far side of the room, you hear, Sasik, I shall avenge you.
You got a lot of avenging to do. You better get down off your high post there and come over and avenge him.
All right. Well, that's the end of that round. Okay.
I continue to taunt him through this whole thing.
Hey. Somebody's got to do it. All right. Conrad. Let's go ahead and let Conrad roll initiative at least, since he's stuck in a web. Whoops. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Click your token and then click that. It should. So then let me go here and I'll this. Okay, so 7 for that. Okay. And 3 there. Okay, so the spiders now take a new tactic. This spider is going to crawl. Actually, this is going to. Okay. This spider is going to crawl along the ground. This spider here is going to climb up the web and go on the ceiling. And so now what I want you to imagine is 2 spiders. One on the ceiling, one on the ground, both trying to bite at you. So I'm going to put the token there so that we can keep them separate for purposes of tracking hit points, but we'll go ahead and take it as read that they are both right there. They are not, well, actually the one will go ahead and will, since it's right there in the doorway, it will fill this area here with webs. So now you guys are all stuck in webs. And then, okay, the same time that happens, and the last time you guys saw this guy, he was over here. But kind of by where he is on the map, he has kind of gone out of sight of you guys. So you're not quite sure where he is. And that's what happens on that turn. And then the melee attack is 2 spiders try to bite the guys in the front door. So it's we have Sildar and we have Theolis. So 1 through 3 is Sildar, 4 through 6 is Theolis. First bite is at Theolis. Second bite is at Theolis. So both spiders try to bite. Okay.
Damn, dude.
So now you need. Oh, actually, I need to go double check on the goblin. But you get to take 5 points and try to make a saving throw. And you only have to make 1 saving throw because you were missed the second time. So the save here is going to be a save against poison. 12 or higher. You did it. All right. Yeah, that poison just, you shake it right off. So
does he still take damage though?
Oh, he still takes damage. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Takes hit point damage, but because those big fangs sink in, but all of the black liquid goes oozing out. Now let me just double check. He saves as a normal person. So let's, meaning someone without. In this edition, there is a save called Normal Man. And Normal Man is a person or a monster that does not have any levels of anything. So the goblin. Goblin failed his save. All right, so he is poisoned, and so he is on a. I'm going to put this little skull and crossbones on him. And I'm going to say he's at a 9. Okay. So he has 9 rounds. Or else he is going to be in some trouble. Then let's see. All right, that was it for the enemies. Party. You may move if you wish.
Could.
If you can. Yeah, I mean, you have some NPCs that can move, but
what happened
now,
to the turkey guy? The spider guy?
He moved and we can't see him anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's up in somewhere.
Yeah.
Spider.
I think what Conrad would like to do, the only oil he's got left is what's in his lantern. So he would like to smash his lantern on the ground to kind of release the oil and catch the webs on fire.
Okay.
Oh shit! How did we end up in?
I know. I'll take.
You're gonna.
I know, but Helm will protect us.
You might be able to coat yourself in the oil, and that might release you from the web, as long as you don't light the oil.
I think smashing is more dramatic.
Yeah, and burning.
Yeah.
Burning's the bad thing.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and this is more of a how would Conrad feel about this? The other thing is that it's not just Conrad that's stuck in the web; it's also Ripper. So if you light the web on fire, it's going to not only burn you, but it'll burn the wolf.
Okay, how about if I coat my warhammer with some oil and then light that to try and like swing it to just, since I'm kind of on the edge, maybe just burn enough to get through?
You know what? I am going to go ahead and allow some attack rolls, and a successful attack roll will mean that you only burn the pieces of the web around you, which means you are the only one that would take any kind of potential fire damage.
Okay.
But we'll give you a saving throw to see if you can mitigate any of that.
You want me to do that now or during the melee round?
Go ahead and use your move to coat your hammer, and then during the melee, we'll let you try that.
Okay.
All right. So, anybody else doing anything creative over here by the front door to try to
covered in webs? There's a blue box around us.
Yep. Because the spiders got in the door and they just said, "Oh." The guy made the mistake of putting his allies in the web the first time, and that got them burned. And now they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just put the enemies in the web. So if they want to burn the web, they can burn themselves."
Am I still able to attack?
Oh yeah, you're still able to attack. Yeah, you're still able to attack them right in front of you.
You just can't move.
You just can't move. Yeah.
Now, if Zhire wanted to test a theory and take my lantern and blow it out and cover herself in lantern oil and see if that would keep the webs from adhering to her, she's welcome to.
Excuse me?
I have a theory that lantern oil, while unlit, would allow you to move through the web. But you would have to be coated in it.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
I don't trust you.
I said you could take the lantern and blow out the flame and try it yourself. Or
but then what happens when somebody comes up with flint and steel or something? Whoosh. I sound like a wolf then.
Yeah.
Gotta bark.
You go wash it off in the creek.
That's if I could get to it without, burning.
Here's a theory.
Okay, so I take it that we're just going to go straight to melee then for the party.
I mean, I can do a ranged attack. I don't know when that comes in again.
Dill might have a ranged attack.
Say what?
Dill might have a ranged attack.
Yeah, Dill has a ranged attack.
Yeah, Dill can have a ranged attack, and Zhire, because you are now in the webs, I'll give you a ranged attack, but again, it's going to be a well, you and Dill will both have the -4 because you'll have the -4 because you're trying to manipulate your bow while all these webs are sticking to you, and he's got the -4 because he's trying to see through all these webs to shoot the thing.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, let's see here. Okay, first mine.
That'll miss.
Of course it will. And who is this one?
It doesn't, as long as it's a goblin. It does.
I couldn't tell if it was mine or his.
Okay. 4. Okay. A 4 would normally hit, but with a -4, that's an AC 8, which doesn't hit.
God damn it.
Okay. All right. So, is going to be it for ranged. Then no spells and melee. So, Conrad, go ahead and make. We'll say you light the web on fire.
Okay.
Or you light your hammer on fire, and then you make a melee attack. And yes, I was just going to say your goal is to hit an armor class 10, but you do.
Okay.
You hit that with a 7. So, with a 7, you can burn the little piece of web right in front of you, and you now have a way to get out. But you can make a saving throw, and let me just double check what kind of save would that be. Make a saving throw against paralysis to try to avoid that 1 point of fire damage. Okay, you do.
All right.
All right. So, you now, when movement comes around next time, you can ignore that web and you can move out of it.
Okay.
All right.
Does that
And
score
now,
go to a 3 then for Ripper?
yeah. That 4 should go.
I don't know if it'll matter, but it might.
No, it should go to
Thank
3. Okay. And Sildar and Theolis, you guys are up with your. Okay, that's gonna miss. And then Sildar, let's see. Sildar will try to attack with his longsword. And he misses. Okay. All right. And now let's see. I guess Theolis, you're up again on the initiative.
Oh,
Let's see.
We're just not doing good. We're all gonna die.
aren't you just a ray of sunshine?
Well, Sermos isn't around for me to like steal the boots off of his feet. He's got
Right?
what?
I said, right? That would
Right.
be real
Okay.
helpful right now.
So would a sleep spell.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, let's see. Movement. Okay. Okay. All right. So then he will do this. Whoops. That is not. Come on. Damn it. There you go. All right. So. Okay. That is that. Anything else? Okay. So the next thing that happens is the
We all die.
melee attacks. All right. So over here by the front door, we have the 2 spiders, and once again, 1 to 3 is going to be Sildar. 4 to 6 will be Theolis. So 1 bite at Theolis, 1 bite at Sildar. So here is the bite at Theolis. AC 11, that's a miss. The bite at Sildar. Right. AC 5, I think that's going to miss. Yep, that's going to miss. All right, so the 2 spiders miss. Now, Conrad.
Yes.
You're feeling very good about having gotten out of the web and thinking that things are starting to look up when all of a sudden, clinging to the wall right next to you,
Hello there.
the spider guy appears and he tries to whack you with his tries to swing a sword at you to hit you. It's an armor class 3
Yeah,
or an armor class -4 for 3 damage.
that will hit.
And okay. And I need you to make a another saving throw against paralysis. Okay. You feel you feel kind of like a tingling sensation when that sword bites into you, and you see that there's kind of a greenish gooey substance coating the blade, but
Right.
it doesn't seem to have an effect on you. And he's just, I will feed your bones to my pet spiders. He
I tell him
you.
that Helm will protect me.
And he hisses at you. All right, and yeah, that guy is he's just proven to be kind of useless this fight. Okay, Theolis. You guys are up. Dill and Zhire, you can do the same thing. Conrad, because the poison did not paralyze you, you can move because that guy is on the wall. He's not standing on the floor.
Okay.
He's clinging to the wall. So you can move if you want. Okay. And then so here you're just gonna try your shooting again.
Yeah.
Okay. And Dill will try to shoot again.
I'll get Dill here in a sec. Me. Boink. No.
Miss.
Oh,
And Dill. Miss. I suck.
Okay. Sildar and Theolis. AC 8, not quite. And then Sildar will try to, and he misses. All right. So now I have a stalemate at the front door. Okay.
Can I hit that guy, or is he too far up on the wall?
Oh no! You can take a swing at that guy if you want to. AC 4. Ooh. You swing at him, and you think for sure you're going to hit him, and then just before your weapon gets to him, it seems to bounce off some sort of invisible, almost like
A barrier.
barrier that is just around him, and he grins at you.
All right.
And then he okay, so then we're gonna be up for initiative again. So who's gonna roll initiative this time? Whose turn is it for the
Me.
party? Okay, all right.
I
So
suck.
Conrad,
Me to roll initiative.
oh, okay.
please.
I thought
Put the pressure on me.
there was.
No, I said not me.
Right now, everything's going in your direction right now. You got out of the web. You didn't get poisoned. You're doing great.
Okay,
We'll
so
see how long that lasts.
Helm has your back, so let's go with it.
10.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now it all changes.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Conrad, this elf, he stays on the wall, and
Okay.
he scuttles right through the web as though it doesn't even bother him. And he goes right up to the bugbear. And he just sort of kind of looks at you and sort of taunts you a little bit with a grin. As if he just doesn't even have any fear that these bugbears are going to hurt him.
All right.
And as he moves up, he says, you can still save your lives. You can still join me, he tells the bugbears. I will reward you. You will be the first to see the glory as our queen makes the empire rise again. And they look at him and they're there. He doesn't seem to be casting a spell. He seems to be trying to persuade them and impress them. They apparently are more impressed by gold. So, all right. So, these other spiders, they're not doing anything. This guy, now that Conrad is out of here, this guy is going to run up next to Conrad. And then, no ranged weapons, no spells, and melee. Okay, so 1 to 3 is Sildar, 4 to 6 is Theolis. Okay, so 1 and 1. So giant spider attack coming in. Bite at Sildar. Armor class 4. Ooh, that's exactly what they need to hit. And then he's got the needs to do that, so it's a Sildar fails his saving throw. Alright, then the attack at Theolis. Armor class 1. So that's a saving throw for poison needed from Theolis.
All right. Now I'm down to 7 hit points.
Well, you took 5 originally, didn't you?
Yeah, but
that took me down to 14, and then I just took 7 from that bite.
ooh. Okay, so we have 2 poisoned heroes up here. By the door. Okay. And then the doppelganger is going to try to bite Conrad.
Dang, he don't even try to hit you. He just bites you.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Armor class
Jerk like
negative
that,
1.
you know.
He's a vampire.
No, he's not quite a vampire. He doesn't gain any health from doing that, but he will deal 10 points of damage with that bite. He's got really sharp teeth.
Damn. We're all going to be dead before the others get here for the night.
All right.
Well-
Okay, so now let us see. What are that was their turn. Conrad. This guy just bit you, but he looks in bad shape.
Okay.
He's clearly desperate now.
All right. Well, Spoink, was that Spoink? I'm not sure what goblin that is. Wanted to do a shot at the elf in the ranged room or ranged round.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and do that before we go to the.
I don't know that it'll matter, but
AC 5. No, that's not quite going to hit.
okay.
All right. So then,
Are we in ranged weapons?
I guess. Yeah, you guys can range because I don't think anybody's moving. Unless you want to move some of the NPCs somewhere. Which I'll let you guys do while people are taking pot shots at things.
Yes.
Go Dill.
Okay, Dill. Armor class. That is an armor class 3, firing through the webs for 5 points of damage. Okay. And then. Oh, and Zhire missed. All right. So now, when it comes to melee, it looks like Ripper and 2 of the bugbears would have a chance to hit the elf if they want to take it. And then, of course, Sildar and Theolis have a chance to fight the spider at the door.
Theolis, you want to go first?
Okay. Dang it.
Okay. Yeah, that'll miss. And Sildar. Ooh, that'll do that. It's not quite enough to kill the spider, but it's very, very bloodied. Okay. And okay, so then the
Right, so
bugbear.
Ripper
Okay.
will be
Yeah, that's gonna miss with the bite. Ooh, 7. Oh, but the -1 that'll hit.
Yeah.
It gets through his force field or barrier.
Yep, it gets through that.
Wow. 9. Damn.
Yeah.
Blacks
Yeah.
his eye.
Yeah,
Whitens
Clark.
his eye. He's already black.
Yeah. Clark hits pretty hard with that Morning Star. All right.
All right, Conrad will take a shot at the guy that bit him,
Okay.
or not.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So then, I guess Theolis, you are up for
Saving throw.
Why, Hulk smash.
Oh, okay. This one, the saving throw only happens once.
Oh, okay.
It's not an ongoing save. It's now that the saving throw has failed, there's just a clock ticking.
Oh.
And if antidote for the poison is not received in time, it kills the person.
Well, a health potion would relieve the poisoning, wouldn't it?
No.
Oh, right.
It would give you, and with this kind of poison, it's a save or die poison. So you could drink all the health potions you want and get back to full health, and then when that timer ticks down, boom, you're just dead.
Yay!
So what you need to find an antidote for the poison.
Well, I'm stuck in a web.
Yeah, or somebody can.
It's all
Get-
good. I need a challenge.
Yeah, or somebody
So the bugbears
perhaps can
were
get-
just real quick. The bugbears were like helping this black spider out. This black spider guy.
No.
Were they working for him?
They were working for him until you guys came along, and you gave them gold.
Are any of the bugbears close by?
They're all over here, and then there's a couple down here, and then there's this guy here right next to you.
Okay. I will give a quick yell. Basically, I need spider antidote. Anybody got spider antidote?
And they
I pay good gold.
yeah, and then Bach goes, "Oh yeah, we have that," and so
I need 2 vials.
okay,
Treatment.
and Bach
Pay
will
Electrum.
Bach will go ahead on the next turn, and he will run. So Theolis, you go ahead and make a initiative for the party. I'll have this guy do initiative for.
So
Son
close.
of a.
Okay. Oh gosh. And then 7. Okay. All right. So the black spider is just gonna look at the bugbears and say, "You all haven't seen the last of me." And he crawls along the wall, along the ceiling. There's over here. And then he starts to crawl down here. And he basically starts to flee. He can get to about there.
Lost a morale check.
No, but he's vastly outnumbered, and he realized that all of the bugbears had turned against him, which means he's even more outnumbered. So he figures that, hopefully the spider poison will take care of several of you all and kill a few of you, and then he will regroup and come back with more loyal followers later. That's apparently what he is thinking. So there's that. That's his move. The doppelganger is just desperate now, fighting for his life, and he is just going to. Oh no! Wait a minute. His boss just left. So he's just going to. He's going to throw his hands up, and he's going to back away from Conrad. He's going to say, "Don't kill me! Don't kill me!" And he backs away.
Spiders.
And the spiders, they are just kind of mindless beasts. So they're, or actually they're very similar to charmed animals. They've been told to stop the intruders, so that's what they're going to do. Kind of like a guard dog. Yep. All right. So as non-sentient creatures, they don't really do morale in the sense that social creatures would. All right, which means that party, it's up to you. I am going to go ahead and take the liberty of moving Bach. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Okay, so he can get there on this round. Conrad.
Yes.
You don't have an enemy. You are able to move. I think if the token is correct, you are hurt pretty badly. So what would you like to do?
Well, I don't trust the guy right there. I'm going to move and tell him to lay down so I can tie him up.
Okay. All right. And in response, he'll go ahead and he will get down on the floor. All right. Okay, so goblins are going to.
We'll see if they can get a lucky shot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And if that's the case, then we can go ahead and do ranged attacks. So, Conrad, you can go ahead and take a shot for those 3 goblins there. Miss. Okay. And then Zhire and Dill can make shots at the spider.
Pew. Okay. No! Once again, I miss.
Then Dill. Yeah! Oh, wow.
See, I told you, Dill's just. That's why he's a lieutenant. He's already had 3 confirmed kills in battle.
Make that 4 confirmed kills.
Sweet.
This arrow just takes out that spider.
All right, he's promoted to captain.
Zhire is just pissed.
Okay.
Goddamn motherfucker, son of a bitch.
Okay. Now, remember, this guy has been up there. So this guy has been on the ceiling, so he is right there. Melee, you still have a target in front of you. Because you can. Armor class 3, that'll hit. And then Sildar will attack. Oh! And Sildar kills the last one. Okay. Alright, so then let's go ahead and get those guys over here.
Where did my bugbear go that was going to bring me the antidote?
He's running to get the antidote.
Oh.
He had to run to get it.
He didn't have it on him. It's down in a room.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. They keep it in their quarters. So all right. So now we have two more. Yeah, we have two more rounds with Ripper to get out of the webs. And then the question is, okay, no, I think we've got this. All right, so we're going to drop out of initiative now. Bach will come along in about 15 or 20 seconds. He will first run up here, and he will. He's got a kind of a satchel across his neck and hanging down on his chest, and he opens up a flap and he pulls out two vials, and he says, "Who's been bitten?"
And I point to Theolis and
Sildar.
Sildar.
Okay, so Theolis hands you two vials, and you can hand one to Sildar. You guys can sort of. It's hard to sort of.
Right.
Yeah, move your arm, but moving your arm is about all you can do. So you give one to Sildar, one to yourself. Then up here during that time, I'm going to go ahead and clear this because the time would have elapsed, and they finally get Ripper out, and they're able to burn. They're able to burn this bit of web away. And then Bach will go running back, and Conrad about 45 seconds later, Bach comes running up, and he shoves pulls a vial out of his pouch, shoves it into your hand, and says, "This will counteract the poison."
And I'll let him know that I'm not poisoned.
I thought somebody up there. Okay. I guess nobody else up there was poisoned. Okay. Oh, it was the goblin.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you have to give. Bach would stand here then, and he would pass a third vial, and kind of fireman, or telephone that vial down to
bucket drill.
Yeah, bucket drill.
Mm-hmm.
So then he is now off of the.
And so I look at Theolis and go, "You owe me one."
All right. So, time passes, and between eventual tugging and pulling and the gradual proteins in the web starting to break down, and eventually you guys can get out of these webs. So we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of that web, and that web. Okay.
So as soon as the webs are free, I'm gonna go into this room and start looking for crap.
Okay.
By God, my pride is hurt.
Okay. So you go in here and let's see, what do you find in here? All right.
I'm gonna hand Conrad a healing potion and take one myself.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
There is. Let me. All right, I'll read this description of the room again. 6 cracked marble pillars line the walls of this hall, at the north end of which stands a 9-foot-tall statue of a dwarf seated on a throne, a mighty stone warhammer across his lap. Large emeralds gleam in the statue's eyes. And
Remember, do we have any dwarves in our party?
Sermos.
Yeah, Sermos.
Very much.
Oh, Gooney ain't here.
Okay. There's a fancy bedroll and a couple of packs arranged in front of the statue. There is a rough-built fire pit there, and a wooden table stands on the west side of the room between 2 pillars.
Okay. Well, I'm basically gonna start sorting through everything.
Okay.
And kind of look up at the statue for a minute, look at the emerald eyes, kind of think about it for a minute. I'll make my decision on that later if I want to defile the statue.
Yeah.
Do I know what the statue is of? Is it a god?
You can make this looks like a chapel, so your hunch would be it probably is some sort of dwarven deity. You can make a religion check if you have one. If you have that, otherwise I think it's a Is it a wisdom? Let me double check on that. I also have to do. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. This one is. Oh, come on. This part 1, this goes part 2. Okay. Yeah, it's a. Oh, actually, it would be a knowledge religion. So it's an intelligence check.
Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Motherfucker. God damn. Son of a bitch.
Well, it's a dwarf.
It's a
Would
dwarf,
Con-
all right. Those
Would
are some
Conrad or the
nice
cleric have
looking.
any idea?
Yeah. I will. Yeah. I will say that you see Zahir over there, and she's looking up at it, and you're thinking she must be looking at those emeralds, and you're kind of wondering whether you should say anything to her or not. And then it occurs to you, wait a minute, that's probably a deity, and so you start cataloging the dwarven deities you know of. I'm going to give you two chances at a knowledge religion check.
Okay, so intelligence then.
Yeah, intelligence.
I hate
Oh,
you.
you got it on the first try. All right. Well, you realize that this is actually a statue of the dwarven god Dumathoin. Dumathoin is the god of dwarven god of exploration.
Okay.
And he is sometimes venerated by dwarven miners because they are searching for precious metals, and so they kind of think that search puts that activity under Dumathoin's portfolio. Of course, there are plenty of miners and dwarves that would also venerate Moradin, who's the dwarven god of creation and smithing, and even especially if they are mining in an area that they know that there would be orcs or goblins or things, they would probably also venerate Clangeddin Silverbeard, who is the dwarven god of battle. So that's what you would know of the dwarven pantheon there. And then there's a couple of other gods that they do for other things, but none of them would really make sense in this setting. So, Zahir, while you're getting lectured on dwarven theology,
The cleric.
you actually do find a sack that is under the wooden table.
Okay.
And this is what the sack contains. Okay. Right. So, check their DMs there. You will see what you notice in the sack.
Ooh. Nice.
Then
she opens up the sack. Well, Theolis is blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and then acts like there's nothing in there. Just shoves it in the bag with the good bedroll and all that.
Okay.
For now. I'll share
For
later.
now. Okay. Then Theolis, yes. You're at a door. This door is
Yeah.
locked.
All right.
Gee, I don't know. There's a thief around here somewhere that can unlock it.
We've got this guy tied up here. Maybe he knows where the key is.
You ask him, and he says, only Nezznar has the key. He would keep it on his person.
Mm.
Figures.
Is
Is
Theolis
the
kind of
door
like
axe proof?
Let us see. What is the door made of? Do. It's a heavy wooden door reinforced with iron bands. So it's not axe proof, but it takes some work to get through it. As you're sizing it up, Zhire comes up and I
basically?
presume. Go ahead.
Look, is Theolis kind of like a barbarian? Kind of a
He's just blunt when it comes to it. It's
Okay.
not necessarily
Well, I
that he's a
meant-
barbarian.
have I ever seen him drink? Like spirits, ale?
I think so. I'm not sure. Zhire Mason, I know, was at the inn a couple times. I don't know
Well,
if
Zahir was
Zhire-
there when you guys came back, so
Yeah, he probably. I mean, he would have had at least a beer. I don't think he is usually in the habit of falling down drunk, but he's.
Okay.
You would have seen him with a mug of ale
okay.
at some point.
So as she walks up to the door, she holds out. She basically slaps something against his stomach and says, "Here, you could get more use out of this." And it is an ale mug made of hammered electrum, dwarven ale mug.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Thank
it looks
you.
pretty valuable. It looks pretty valuable too.
100 gold pieces.
Yep, it's worth
So,
100 gold pieces.
Yeah, so she basically goes up and goes, "Here, you can use this better than I could. You look like the type that would appreciate something like this." And then she
Well,
gets
thank
to
you.
look. Uh-huh. Yep. We won't speak about all of the misses, right? The
What misses,
the
huh?
arrow misses, right? Okay, good. We're on the same page.
You mean the glorious battle that you almost single-handedly undertook to free us all?
Don't get that deep, dude.
Okay.
Just I did my part. Yeah, I did my part. It's a team effort. We won't talk about the number of misses. All of the misses. Anyway, so she gets out her pickpocketing or her trap
Thieves' tools. Yeah.
tools and first make sure she farts before she picks, finds and removes traps, if any.
Okay. Let us take a quick peek here. I'm going to make sure I have the correct numbers here off of the character sheet. Okay, come on. Come on. So it's going to do this. Oh my goodness. You are absolutely positive that there are no traps on this. You check this extremely thoroughly, and
Okay.
you are certain.
Either that or I rolled really bad. Anyway, so I will go ahead and start using my thieves tools to pick the lock.
Okay. Wow. First time. Yes. Now Zahir, as a Zhire as a PC. All of the stats are working exactly as they should. To pull behind the curtain a little bit, on her fine traps, she has a 20%. She rolled a 2 out of 100. So
Wow.
that's why she was absolutely certain there was no traps. And in open locks, she's got a 25%, and she rolled a 13 on the 25. So, may not be able to hit the broadside of a barn with
but
an arrow.
boy, when
but
it comes to thieving, I can do a good job. So she's just kind of like, oh, click, 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 and then turns the handle and pushes the door open.
Yes. And when she does, you guys, whoops.
You guys get suddenly slammed into by 1,000 arrows that came through the doorway, and we're all dead.
Oh, come on here.
More giant
Either
spiders.
that or a big spider comes jumping out of the room. Boo!
No more spiders.
Spider's like, boo!
All right. So, you guys push in there, and you see the following. Dusty draperies adorn the walls of this room, which also contains a bed and a brazier. A badly disheveled dwarf lies bound and unconscious on the cold stone floor.
Oh, there you go.
Unconscious. Now, I can feed him a healing potion while he's unconscious, correct?
You can't. He's unconscious. So, but you walk over. He's not bleeding. He's not dying. It looks like he was beaten up, maybe, and knocked out, and he's just asleep. So you can try to wake him up.
Oh, okay. It's the last rock seeker, brother. So go ahead and try to shuffle him away.
Oh, but no! I already told you. And then his eyes flutter open. He's like, "Who are you? Did you get captured too?"
I'm a friend of Thundrin. They're not Thundrin. It's
Gundren.
Gundren. They all sound the same.
Gundren.
Except like Gundren.
Is Gundren here with you?
He waits at the entrance.
And about this, whoops, I forgot to take that thing off. About this time, Sildar will walk in, and he'll say, "Nundro, no, Gundren is waiting outside, but I'm here." And Nundro says, "Sildar, oh, thank the gods."
Still have the doppelganger, don't we?
He's tied up.
Okay.
Dylan relish for watching them.
So I got, I was gonna say, I look at Theolis as Sildar and Nundren are talking and go, I can make it so that lock never opens again. We could always put that doppelganger in here.
And he says, "No, please, I can tell you about his plan. Please."
I don't know.
I'm worth to you more alive than I am dead.
Didn't the dwarves want to take this back, so they might not want this guy still hanging around here?
I don't know. We could always just taunt him through the door until he dies.
Yeah, Conrad's not okay with that.
I don't know. I still think it's a good idea. And she kind of looks over at the doppelganger like, you better start ducking.
And he looks at Conrad, and then Zhire. You can see Dill is behind him, and Dill just sort of winks at you, and he pulls out a dagger, and he just pokes the doppelganger on the arm with the point of the dagger, and he's like, no, please, no. And then Dill just kind of gets this grin on his face.
So why don't you start talking?
What do you want to know? I'll tell you.
Said you knew his plans.
He's mad. It's
obvious he's mad.
He claims that there are that the true elves. He is the vanguard of the true elves. They will be coming. They bring their dark lady. She will return here. The Lady
Dark
of Spiders.
Mm.
The Lady of Spiders. She will return the Empire to its glory. And the spiders will carry the Empire to victory.
And is this coming from his mouth or your own delusions?
His mouth. I've seen things. I've seen things with him. He took me to a city far underground. A city, and there were more spiders than I ever thought I would see in my life in one place. And some of them were as big as houses, if you could believe it.
No.
Theolis is like, nope. Exit stage left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exit stage left.
And he looks at Conrad, and he's got this kind of desperate look in his eyes, and he says, "You must believe me. The most terrifying thing I saw there is there were creatures that from the waist up, they were elves, but from the waist down, there were giant spiders."
Oh, that's not right. Oh, no.
No. No. They don't pay enough.
And what is your spot in all this? You an unwilling or willing participant?
Myself and my kin, we were captured by Nezznar and some of his colleagues who went back underground to bring a priestess.
To do what?
Well, he told us that when she got here with her retinue, that she was going to rededicate this temple to the Dark Lady.
So
I think they were going to try to summon something here.
Okay. So you said that is it your family or your friends or your kind or what? that are doing this against your will?
There were two of us. One was a messenger that went to Cragmar Castle. And then there was me. I haven't seen my kin. And he says, I suppose, have you all been to Cragmar Castle? Which, now, I can't remember if, was Zhire? Yeah, Zhire was
there.
Zhire
I
was
climbed
there.
up the wall.
Quagmire.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you guys, whether you remember as players or not, your characters would remember that you did spot and kill a doppelganger there in Cragmore Castle.
So I kind of look at him and go, yeah, I think we saw him, but not positive. So, whose side are you on? Theirs, your own, or ours?
I don't want to die. I will. My preference would be to flee and try to find more of my kind. And if that is not possible, then I would go where you take me, but please don't kill me.
Well, I don't know. I'd be more inclined to let you go. However, at the moment, last thing I need is to set an unknown loose and have them possibly bring back God only knows what. So, for the time being, you get to stay with us. And if you help us out and, help supply us with information or anything else we need, then we'll be more likely that once we hit the surface again to set you on your merry way with supplies.
Yeah, and Conrad, you of course, being a religious person, you've heard of all kinds of crazy cults and things like that, and the information this guy has is sketchy enough that it doesn't match up with anything that you know about, because as of this edition, in this edition of the game, there really was no such thing as drow. Those didn't start to become a thing until AD&D. But in this rule set, they were not a thing that was known of. But of course, there's all kinds of crazy cults, and cults spring up around anything. They spring up around poisonous snakes, around spiders, around lizards, around obviously dragons, whatever. So you wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of crazy cult that had some kind of strange magic capabilities. Probably you would think that either your church or the Church of Helm or maybe some of the other churches would want to pump this guy for information and try to do that. So they would probably be willing to let him live, and they eventually might turn him loose, but they would want him brought back for questioning.
Okay.
And then Zhire and Theolis, I don't think you guys really answer to any kind of organizational hierarchy the way the way Conrad does with the church. So it would just be your personal preference what you think, whether you would be inclined to let this guy go or
Well, but that's if somebody's got to speak up, possibly.
Yeah.
So if Mr. Right and Tight Almighty decides that this is something that he needs to do, well, okay, as long as you let him live so he can walk away later,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the church is not going to unnecessarily kill people.
Are you kidding? It's a church. The things people do in the name of religion. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Sorry.
All right.
A little of my Monty Python showing through.
Okay. And I just realized the time. Let's go ahead and take a break. It's about 10 till the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and take a break for 10 minutes, and then you guys can let me know when we come back what your thoughts are about searching the rest of this place, what you want to do, because we're at a point where, with the main villain kind of gone, we can probably more or less narratively deal with the search, unless you guys would just want to go through and do a room by room sweep and everything. So we'll discuss that when we get back, and then see whether we want to wrap up the adventure this week or wrap it up next week. So I'll put the music on, I'll mute myself, and we will be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, are we
I'm
are
here.
we about back? Okay. All right. Well, as I see it, we have a couple of things that we can do. I'm going to do this because people would probably eventually make their way down here and realize that one of the things that the Black Spider and his people had done is expand this area until they did actually reach a little cove, a little underground cove that then has an outlet to the sea. And there's evidence that there was a small rowboat tied up there, which is now missing. So that's probably the way he fled, is through that little rowboat. So when people go try to chase the guy down, he's gone. The bugbears will reiterate, or the hobgoblins, I should say, will reiterate that there's part of the area that they did not go into because of the fact that it's infested with undead. You guys found that room with ghouls in it, and they assure you that there are places that have a lot more than just ghouls. There's like zombies and skeletons and things like that all over the place. And I think at one point, Zhire and maybe Alice were poking around somewhere, and they heard something off in
we
the
were
dark.
like, nope.
Yeah.
Not going there. Nope.
Yeah, so that was, it's possible that what you were hearing was in fact those undead there. But now, of course, you guys are adventurers, and you have a large group of retainers, and you have a cleric that can turn undead. So, like I said, I think if the group wants to, we can sort of narratively deal with that.
Sure.
And then the question will be, what do you want to do with the with this mine here? Yes, the dwarves wanted to open it, but now there's sort of this little lingering threat hanging over its head. If that elf comes back, he probably won't be alone. He will probably come back with more people. And there's no telling how long it's going to take for him to come back. So would the party perhaps want to kind of take on some additional adventures where they try to maybe figure out where that guy went and try to end that threat once and for all, or either that, try to fortify this place and set it up in case the guy does come back, and have a fight there, in which case we could kind of extend this story on for a few more sessions until we figure out what happens with that. Or would the party want to say, okay, we have all this information, let's turn it over to the in air quotes authorities, the the religious orders with their paladins and their holy warriors and things like that, and let them go deal with this.
Let them go deal with this.
Okay.
Hell.
There's one vote for let them go deal with this. And in which case that means that we would then want to figure out what the party would want to do in the coming weeks. But before we end the session for tonight, I want to see how thoroughly you guys are able to find all of the goodies that are in here. So, so let's go ahead and let's do a skills challenge, shall we?
Okay.
And what this skills challenge will be, let me see. No, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That is where we want. So we're gonna take these guys. Gonna get them out of here. And then let me move over to this thing we will let you guys do. Oops. Okay. There we go. Oh, that one is actually on. No, that one is not on. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. I'm gonna bring you guys over to this map here, where we have our little skills challenge, and you guys will be over here. Now, the DC on this one, let's go ahead and say the DC here is equal to let's make it this. DC is equal to 13. And so for every if you guys can get to you guys can get to, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. We'll make it easy. If you guys can get to 4 successes before you get to 3 failures, you'll basically discover everything that that you can find in the different chambers of this mine, and we'll just throw it in as party treasure, and you guys can divide it up and whatnot. And then what we will do is next week we will do sort of a coda on this one, where we will start by having all the players say what their current characters do after resolving the issues at with this mine. with the reward that they get and the treasure that they've gotten. And we will start to let everybody say, okay, so what would you like to do next? Would people like to stick with this rule set and do something else? Would you like to do something with a different edition of the game? And if so, if you lobby for a different edition of the game, let people know kind of what you like about that edition, and then sort of what the challenges might be for people that have never played that edition before. So we can then, once we figure out what we want to do, if it's not a straight up, let's just run my favorite module, which is whatever, ABC, then we can begin to put together, take a couple of sessions to plan what that kind of adventure is going to be like in terms of what the major theme of the campaign is. Do you guys want some sort of mystery? Do you want to be exploring an untamed world? Do you want to be fighting back monster hordes? Whatever that you guys might be interested in doing, and then we'll figure out something that will fit and go with that. Or if you just want to do basically a series of fun modules that we go through in succession, which we can do that too. So the first thing we'll do is we will go ahead and roll some initiative here, and that will put us in order for what order we want to do things. So in any order, and for this case, just roll a d20 for initiative.
Okay.
And that will set the order for each round. Okay, so oh my goodness. Okay, so Zhire, and then Conrad, and then Theolis. So Zhire, 19, Conrad, 2, Theolis, 1. All right. So what you guys are doing is you are exploring the rest of these chambers, and I will give you a scenario for what you find in a certain room, and then you tell me what skill you would use to help the party overcome that particular room. And we'll say that if you're successful, and that means that the party is able to fully explore that area, and if you're not successful, then you would have to come back to it, which means that some of the dwarven reinforcements would probably get in there and be able to get some of the stuff that was there. So here, you guys begin looking at the rest of the mine, and you start to go into an area where you find a group of zombies. So zombies with undead, obviously, with desiccated flesh and everything on them. So what would Zhire do to try to help get those zombies out of there, and what sort of skill would you be using when you're trying to do that?
Well, first of all, I'd want to stealth past them. I'm thinking maybe stealth past them to the other side of the room or into another hallway, and make some type of noise, or basically get them to turn and look at me, possibly shamble my way. Meanwhile, continue to use stealth to like get away from them and
Okay. Lure them into some sort of trap the others are setting or something like that. Okay. All right. So stealth to get in position to lure them the correct way. All right. I will buy that. So go ahead and make a stealth check. All right. Oh, actually, that's right. This one, it's not a DC. It's the check or less. So yes, that's a success. So we're Gundren. You guys go. So yes, you're just looking for successful uses of the skill. All right, wonderful. So we'll say that the goblins wind up setting a crude but effective flaming arrow trap, and you lure them in the direction, and then you duck down a side hall, and as you do, they launch this crude arrow trap, which in fact does shoot flaming arrows at the zombies, but it also winds up spilling a bunch of oil in the same direction that the arrows go, and so it just leaves this big streak of flaming oil across about 25 feet of the floor, and it burns up the zombies, but the goblins are running around for about 20 minutes trying to put out the fire after that, because they so you got that taken care of. All right, Conrad.
Yep.
The bugbears tell you about another area where they have noticed some skeletons, and so in this case, turning. Turning could be a skill. No, turning would not be a skill because that's a different scale. It's not a D20 scale. I guess your knowledge of religion could be considered a substitute for turning, unless there's something else you would want to do.
No, I mean, truthfully, if he ran into undead, he would probably try and turn them first. Would be
okay. So you could, you could then go ahead and try to make that knowledge check there.
Intelligence then, or wisdom?
Yeah, intelligence. Yeah.
Intelligence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. All right. So Conrad kind of looks askance at the goblins after they burn up all of the thing, and he says, "Yes, I think there's a better way of doing this." And he goes in. The bugbears, stand almost shoulder to shoulder with him, but let Conrad go first. He raises up his shield, brandishes the sign of Helm, and commands the undead to flee. And they do. They turn and they run towards the back wall, and then there's this huge bestial battle cry from the bugbears as they all just flow around him, and they just merrily bash the skeletons until there's not two bones left clinging together, and they just keep hammering that, and it's like you've got a lot of chipped bone and even powdered bone there by the time they get done. So if anybody needs any spell components for anything, bone chips or powdered bone, you've got some over there. And so that is that. All right, Theolis. You now reach a very interesting. You now reach a very interesting place. The place that you reach is a room that has a. Whoops, sorry. That's not it. A room that is an ancient laboratory of sorts. And in fact, if the dwarves are with you, they will tell you that it is a place called the fabled Forge of Spells. And when you walk into it, this large workshop is badly damaged by the ancient spell battle that laid waste to the mine. Work tables taking up 2 corners of the room are scorched. The plaster's been burned off the masonry walls. In the middle of the room, a stone pedestal holds a small brazier in which an eerie green flame dances and crackles. The brazier and its pedestal appear to have been untouched by the forces that destroyed the area. There is a you see a vision in the flames. And the vision in the flames is you see a small sphere apparently floating in the air. The sphere looks like it's about the size of a beach ball. And this beach ball has 4 tentacles coming out of it. And then you realize, as you look at it, at the end of each of those tentacles, there's an eyeball. And it says, "Who goes there?" "Do you have the key?" "If you have the key, you may pass."
Okay.
What skill would you try to use? Would you try to intimidate it? Try to persuade it? Try to bluff it?
Honestly, I don't. From Theolis' standpoint, I have no clue what he would try to do in that kind of situation. It's not his forte.
Let's see.
I'm at a loss.
Okay. Let me figure out what you have that might work here. Well, in this edition, if you wanted to try to intimidate it, that is a strength-based skill. Oddly enough, I mean, in later editions that became a charisma-based skill, but it's a strength-based skill in this one. There's trying to figure out what are your high stats. Your high stats are probably Constitution and
strength.
Strength. Okay. If you have a decent charisma, you could try and make an acting or deception check, or even a persuasion check.
Try persuasion. It's explaining that the key was destroyed in a battle.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So go ahead and. And it says, the key was destroyed. Then you will become the guardian. I've had enough of this place. And it looks at you, it blinks a couple of times, and the vision of the sphere fades, and then a few seconds after the vision of the sphere fades, the green flame just dies and goes out.
Not expected at all.
And it is there is there's some stuff in there. All right, so that is another success. Let's go ahead and move your okay, that's 3 successes. All right, so here
Yes.
we're back to you, and there's one more key place in this dungeon we can look at, and that is okay, come on. I have to go to this other one. Dadgummit. No, not that one. I want to go to that one. Do. Yes, this area. Okay, you come to a door where the doors leading into this area are cracked, iron hinges partially melted, dust, ash, and walls blackened by fire, and heaps of debris beneath the sagging ceiling show that this room was damaged by a destructive blast. The furnishings, tables, chairs, bookshelves are charred or splintered, but otherwise well preserved. A scorched iron chest stands near the foot of one of the beds. And as you look in, here, it says you see some dust swirl, and as the dust swirls, a shape rises up, and it looks like the spectral figure of a wizard in robes. And and it says, you are intruders. I command you, destroy the Guardian, or I will take your life. And you notice that when he says, destroy the Guardian, he kind of vaguely points off in the room where Theolis found that green flame. So what would you...
I would like to use persuasion.
Okay.
To persuade this thing that we already did. See, look, no flame. And we're the new... whatever that thing said, here, it's your job now. I'm out of here type thing. You know, that the mantle has been passed upon us.
Okay.
So that's what I want to do.
Okay. So go ahead and...
Just made it.
All right. It looks at you and it says, "Then you are the guardians of these treasures as well."
Yes. Trying to be very solemn. Yes. We are.
You
Take on
must. You must find my grave. Bury the pipe. Guard everything else well. And then and it sort of points at the blackened chest. And then the vision sort of wavers, and then the dust falls to the ground.
Okay, so I go over to the chest.
You open a chest. All right. It's unlocked. You see a bunch of copper pieces, a fair amount of silver and electrum, several diamonds glitter in among the coins, and then there is a wooden pipe that is adorned with sort of little platinum inlay along some of the carvings on the wooden pipe.
Okay. I will look it over, then look around at my cohorts and go, so anybody have a clue where this guy might be buried?
There's some there are some books and scrolls, and eventually you find that that a name that is common in here, and you find a journal identifies the person who used to live here as someone named Mormesk.
Okay.
And after searching around, you can discover that there is an area up kind of on the hillside above the entrance to the mine that looks like at one time it was a fairly well-maintained graveyard, and there's a number of headstones in there. A lot of them seem to be dwarves, probably miners, but there's a few other people that are buried there, and one of them is Mormesk.
Okay. So I'll go over to that place and then try to dig to wherever, if the ground is dirt, great. If not, well, but basically try to dig a hole and then put the stupid pipe in there and then cover it back up and pat it.
Okay. All right. You do.
Okay.
And you release the spirit of Mormesk. And so, success.
Yeah.
You guys succeed at the skills challenge. And so that means that during the week, I'll kind of let you know the rest of the items that were in here. We can figure out what, sort of what the fallout of this is going to be. Like I said, we can come back next week with everybody, and I'll let them know, kind of to give a code on what your what each of the characters does with a treasure, and then start to think about what sort of things we want to do going forward. Since I didn't hear anybody that's in the game tonight say that they wanted to extend this and try to figure out what to do about the black spider. So I'll take that as 3 votes against, which means that sort of majority wins that vote anyway in the group. And so then we'll start looking at what we would do in this time slot next. I will plan to run a session next Saturday night. That will be sort of a planning session or the beginnings of a planning session for what we do after that. We'll kind of have kind of chalk talk thing, figure out what ideas people like, what ideas they don't like, and then that might take us a couple of sessions to figure that out. And then if it's something relatively easy to do, we might just jump right in and start what you guys want to do. If it's something that's going to take some planning, then I will probably run a preset adventure that will just take us a few weeks to do, and then we can come back and begin on something in earnest. But we'll do something to fill in that time that we don't have to do, unless we want to say, oh well, let's just wait and come back and start at a certain time, like either in a few weeks or whatever, if you would rather just dive right into something new. Because if it's something that's going to take some prep, then I'll need a little bit of time to prep that up. If it's something that we can run that doesn't require a whole lot of prep, then we can just go right into it in the next week. So that was a kind of a different way of doing the Lost Mine of Phandelver. This rule set, like we said, is kind of unforgiving. And as you guys have seen, it's pretty easy to lose a character, but at the same time, certain classes have a lot more power at low levels than they do in later editions. Like the cleric's turn ability in this is pretty massive, and at first level, the wizard's ability to completely change the course of a battle is almost overpowered, because you charm the right enemy or you put the other side to sleep, and it makes a battle really, really easy.
That's funny.
Now, I'll be on vacation, so I won't be able to attend next session.
Okay.
I don't really have a preference as to what we do next. The only thing I was wondering is, will we re-roll or start some characters from scratch?
My thought is yes, since you guys didn't want to do this. If, on the other hand, if your preference is, I know these were pre-generated characters, but I'd really like to continue with these characters and see what happens to them. That's a valid option too. So we could just take these guys and do a different adventure. I would have to find something that will fit, that we can just call Phandelver the starting town for it, and I have something in mind if that's what we want to do, where we can basically just pick up with these characters and keep going, but sort of leave this storyline behind and let the Rock Seekers and everybody fend for themselves. If we do that with these characters, then there's always the off chance that, you guys may have made an enemy that will come back and haunt you at some point in the future.
Alrighty.
I'll try to put like maybe a PDF in the Discord during the week, just to sort of, like maybe a page of what I think the next session is going to be like, and an ask for people to leave ideas during the week. So that way, Travis, if you want to be able to put your 2 cents in, you can throw something in the Discord during the week, and then we can count that as basically your vote for what comes next.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and what we might want to do too is maybe put up a poll or something on Discord, that just we can basically kind of throw out votes for, do we want to stay with the current
Characters.
system, characters, or do we want to go to a different, edition, that kind of thing. So, and just ask people what they are thinking. So, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't made up my mind yet. I mean, this is kind of fun going back to the old stuff. But I do say that I kind of like 5e sometimes, so I'm open.
Yeah. There's pluses and minuses to everything. I have a ton of old content, and I have a lot of that old content in digital form. So that makes it pretty easy to put things like maps and stuff like that together. There is a bit of fiddling that you have to do to convert monsters from 5e to older editions. So that does take a bit of work to do if we're going to be running something that's not original edition or not 5e. But having content available to do is fairly easy. What I might wind up doing is I might wind up just having to do a lot more, create a lot more macros and not build up character sheets for things. But I like building up character sheets because then everything works.
Okay. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think probably just that way everybody can get a chance to kind of sit and think about different options, and I was figure just throw up a survey and
Yeah, I mean, I think if we can get some discussion going on the Discord during the week, that might speed things up on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a good plan. Okay, Travis, enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, we're going
Thank you very much.
Can you say?
Taking my daughter to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
What you going to see in Chicago?
I got family up there. I have a cousin, and my daughter being 8, she's never seen a city that size in person. So.
Okay.
And I love the food.
Yes.
Chicago deep dish.
Oh, Duos. I didn't go to Uno's last time I was there, but I went to Duos, and that pizza is marvelous.
So I've heard.
Yeah, Chicago's a great food town, great music town, great art town. Lots of stuff to do, and going in going kind of in the second half of March. Depending on what part of the country you're from, it might feel even warm enough to be outside some of the time.
Well, the wind never stops blowing there.
No,
Great Lakes.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you're at certain times of the year, because it's coming off of the lake, especially if there's any ice out on the lake, it's just it's super frigid wind coming through there with all of that.
Cool. Yay!
All right. Well,
We survived somewhat.
Right.
Survived.
Maybe not so much my pride, but we survived.
Yeah, survived. Got a decent haul of treasure out of here, and achieved the objective of the thing, which was to help Gundren reclaim the mine, and did so without.
Only cost him a brother.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that the way this thing is written, that happens off stage, so there's nothing the players can do to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
But they did prevent the other brother from getting killed, because basically Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask a mechanical question, really. Spiderweb, other than fire, how is it able? What's a good way for players to deal with the spiderweb in first edition, other than fire?
Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, I think, wasn't it?
Well, there's magical spells. There's Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, and there. Let me see, what else does it say about those webs in this edition. So let's go to second level web. Yeah. This spell creates a mass of sticky strands which are difficult to destroy except with flame.
Okay, so that really is the only way to deal with it.
Yeah, now that's in this edition of the game. Now, if you start looking, I can't remember whether it was first edition or second edition, but eventually they came out with two substances that kind of were a yin and yang, but they each one had other uses that they could be used apart from each other. One of those substances was sovereign glue, and the other substance was universal solvent. And I believe that they at some point said, well, you could use universal solvent to dissolve web. And then and also every edition made the amount of time it took to break out of the web, it started getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Because in this one, literally, it's like you're supposed to roll 2d4, and it will take a human of average strength between 20 and 80 minutes to break out of the web. And then the contrast with that is anyone wearing Gauntlets of Ogre Power can break free in 4 combat rounds. So it's like it's either going to take a long time or it'll take a few rounds. And there's really, as written, it's really just nowhere in between. The only thing I was thinking is that, okay, the wolf has a pretty good strength. The bugbear obviously has a large strength. So I would say if the two of them are working together, you could knock that down. But there was really nobody else that had the luxury at the time of Okay, well, we're not being attacked by something, so let's work together to try to do that. Otherwise, the rest of you could have done something similar. But, he was sicking his spiders on you at the one door, and then when Conrad started, getting fancy, they were like, "Oh, nope, we're going to go attack him too."
And then that doppelganger with a bite, 10 hit point bite. Rough.
Yeah. The original edition doppelganger gets 1 bite attack for 1d12 damage.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the creatures that doesn't get many attacks, but it does a lot with that one attack, especially against low level characters. Yeah, it's
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night, but yeah, definitely I'll look forward to seeing what's on
okay.
the system, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I'll do treasure, I'll do experience, just on the off chance that everybody says they want to stick with these characters.
Okay.
That way, you guys will have the option of, oh, well, now we've got a little money, and we've got this level, so maybe we can tackle something that's more appropriate for that level.
Okay.
Because especially if you guys are interested in doing something in this edition, I can find some cool old modules that we can just start to bolt on to what we've already done, and we can begin to see how those go.
Cool. Alrighty then.
All right. Well, everybody take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk to you guys later. And chat, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm going to go ahead and see who is on over here with the Gaming Rebel. And if anybody is around. Actually, there's not a whole lot of people that are up there doing that. Okay, well, I guess we won't raid anybody. Okay, take care, y'all. Have a great week. Good night.